Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator here on the Dutch Polder map in Holland. Now, what I'd like to try to do is to back this one in over there next to those bales. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not very good at backing these yet. I'd need quite a bit more practice. I've been improving over the course of making all of the Farming Simulator videos that I make for you all. I've slowly been improving with reversing these. It's still not something I've been able to master properly yet, though. I do still struggle quite a bit, he says, as he actually manages to pull off quite an impressive looking turn there. Even if I do say so myself. Look at that. Okay, I'm not normally one for, like, blowing my own trumpet much. Okay, maybe I do. I probably shouldn't do it as much as I do, even. But, yeah, quite frankly, I feel that was impressive. I needed a little bit more space there just to, like, finish that. Now I'm stuck. Ah! I've gotten hung up on... I know what's happened. I've gotten hung up on that post. That's what's happened. Ah, there we go. Right, and bring it in there. It was only just caught. If we open this one up like this, so work position, we've got square bales on there anyway, so I can just press X to start that one loading. And we start getting some bales on board. Now, how many bales are we going to get on board? There we go. Right, so we've got a full load, and then I've got afterwards, I don't know if we got a full load on here for the next bit or not. We'll have to find out a bit later on. Right, so if we unload there, press Y to unload onto the trailer itself, and then we put all the straps on. Let's see if our little T6 here is capable of towing this up the road. What is the horsepower of the T6? I'm starting to think that maybe we should have put a front weight on the front of this thing. Look at the money! What is it? Why is the money ticking down so fast? What's it doing? Is it this? Are you the cause of this? You're a very expensive employee, you know that? Maybe it is that one. Oh! The settings. Look, if you look in here, we've actually got... I set it to buy seed and fertilizer, so we didn't have to worry about it refilling, and that's part of what it's doing, is buying seed and fertilizer, and that's why it's so expensive. Ignore that. We'll just ignore it and pretend... Well, I don't really know what we can pretend. This is 143 horsepower. That's 250. That's quite a bit bigger, but this one here is 143 horsepower. I'm thinking a front weight would probably help us quite a bit to maintain some grip on the road, because pulling on that kind of weight is going to be sort of lifting. It's like pulling back on the tractor, so it is going to be lifting a little bit and making the steering a bit light. That could end up being a bit dangerous. Now we've probably got a weight back home, but I'm gonna not worry about it anyway. I'm gonna buy an 1100 kilo weight there. I think we'll go with that one. We'll buy that one, and we'll just go for a grey one this time. I do often colour them the same as the tractors, but I'm just going to go with that for now. And I will unhitch the trailer right there. Go over this way. We'll grab that front weight on and get the trailer hitched back on again once we've done that. There, we can just swing you in over there like that and hitch you on. Back around. Right. Now that should help us to just hold the ground a little bit better, and also, like, we're not going... It should sort of reduce lightness on the steering as well. This tractor is going to struggle to pull this trailer anyway. It is quite a load for it, but that's not to say that it can't do it. How do I know this? Because I've seen a 60 horsepower tractor going up the road with a load not that dissimilar to this, and it seemed to do all right. It did have a small hill that did slow it down a little bit, and when I say slow it down a little bit, it was belching some black smoke out, and it was crawling up that hill, but it made it. It's the important thing. Right, that's the bit that we can walk away from this. There's a lesson we can learn as we walk away from this. It made it. Now, this is a 150 horsepower tractor. Shouldn't have any trouble at all towing this down the road. Although going at this speed may not necessarily be the best idea. We do have trailer brakes fitted. Trailer brakes are fitted onto the tractor and they go straight through to the trailer. And quite frankly, if you're towing a trailer like this, trailer brakes are the difference between life and death. The trailer itself, the brakes lock on the trailer itself, and they slow you down, rather than everything relying on the tractor being able to slow down. You've got the weight of the trailer pushing behind you. The brakes come on the trailer, and they pull the tractor back. When I used to work for a big arable farm, the big grain trailers that we used, and also working for contractors doing silage and out, the big silage trailers that we would use, all had trailer brakes fitted and all used them. And when you've got 12 tons of grain behind you pushing you down a hill, or you've got 15 tons of silage in a trailer behind you pushing you down a hill, having the actual trailer slow down and pull you back when you're pressing the brakes is literally the difference between life and death when you're going down a hill. It makes such a massive difference, which is why you can have such big trailers and stuff these days, because in part of the brakes that are on the actual trailers. If the brakes were only on the tractors, you would be far more limited to the size of the trailer that you'd be able to pull. You would not be able to take anywhere near as much if it was purely reliant on the tractor being able to do the braking. It's a little fact for you there, for those of you who aren't from agricultural backgrounds and not so familiar with it. The brakes on the trailers, you have a lead that goes in, and there's a special, it joins into the actual tractor brakes as well. So when you press the brakes on your tractor, it automatically applies pressure to your brakes as well as the brakes on the trailers. It connects the two reservoirs together with the brake cable, or the brake line. That brake line is probably the most important one of all. You know, if your lights aren't working on the back, that's just going to be a nuisance. If your brakes aren't working on the back and you go down a hill, or if you've got to stop and you come to a junction, you've got to perform an emergency stop of any kind, that's a bit more serious. That's more a life and death sort of situation. Now we'll bring this one in over here. I don't want to go too tight into the shed. I want to bring it sort of about that point right there. And we'll get to there, and then take those straps off like that. And right, I was just wondering if I should do this as like my screenshot picture, because that looks quite cool actually. I don't know. I'm going to play around with this for a minute. Excuse me. Okay, I played around and I also drank coffee, so now I'm feeling much better. And we'll unload that, and then you press B to select the side that you want to unload. He says. Oh, it's because it's not loaded. We need to load it. There, I pressed X to load it up. So now I can press B to select the side. If I go there, it's probably going to dump some of the bales below the map. If I go there, that'll be fine. It's not. You've got to be careful with unloading an auto-load trailer. If it's on an angle like that, and if you look there, it could very well drop some of those bales below the map. Depending on how the map reacts to it, it could push the bales back up and just jump them up, or it could drop them below. So be careful when you're unloading an auto-load trailer. It can sometimes cause you a few problems. So we'll unload it there like that, and this one is going to be a bit more difficult. So we'll do that, and then I will unload it again. I need to actually get a bit closer to that side, so that's what we'll do. We'll swing around in a circle, and we'll get a little bit closer to it. The Valtra T-Series is going to have finished planting our sugar beet field in a minute as well, which is most excellent. I'm going to set that trailer to loading again, and I'm going to grab those 6 bales that we've unloaded there, and I'm just going to come in a bit tighter to where the trailer is, there, like that, and I go to there, and then you'll see what I mean in just a second. If I do that, and then, oh no, I've unloaded to the trailer. I didn't want to do that, so I'll load it back on again, and then I press B, and there. Then unload, and then they'll go straight into the shed. So where I am with the trailer is, that's actually where they put them out. I mean, we've seen all of this in Estancia Lapacho when I did that, which was several months ago now, actually. It was a little while ago that we were on that one. This shed here, it will take, it tells you everything that you got here. Storage space 78, object size 4,000, stored objects 30, 4 straw bales, and total literage as well. You can put 78 of each kind of bale in here, so you can put 108 of each kind of bale in here. And so there's the straw, and there's the hay over there, 108 hay bales as well. This one, the whole mod doesn't have a capacity for silage bales. You can't put square silage bales in. It's the only disappointment with this one, really. We go back through there. See, the round bale one, that does allow, it allows ordinary grass, straw, silage, and hay, but this one here doesn't. It doesn't have the capacity for silage. If you're a little bit savvy with modifying, what do you call them? Modifying mods, go into the XML file, you could probably change it so that that one there is silage instead of plain grass. And you could probably change this one as well, so you got hay or silage down the end there instead of plain grass. If you wanted to, you could probably also, if you can figure that one out, you could probably have it so you got one shed entirely for straw, one shed entirely for hay, and one for silage, and do things like that. But the mod as it is, you've got these 4, and I really like it. It doesn't go, the grass bales bit doesn't fit in with seasons, because you can't keep grass bales, so I don't know how that would work with the seasons bit. The other 2 bays are really useful, so for this to be better to go with seasons, I would prefer to see that as silage. But overall, I really do like this mod. I think this mod is absolutely brilliant. Let's go a minute and just check on this one. We've got... We'll see what it's like when this one gets down to the end and does its turnaround on the end down there. I can't leave the straw that is out down at the dealership to get rained on, or we're going to lose it all, because we're seasons, remember. And seasons doesn't like your bales getting rained on. That should actually be alright to do one more pass, and then we'll stop it. So while that one's doing that one pass, this one, we need to drive back down to the dealership and get the other load of bales. We'll bring those up. That's going to be our pigs with... We'll have all the straw that we'll need for the pigs to start off with. And then we're going to... What else are we going to want? We've got grain. We've got some basic grain. We've got most of the stuff. The only thing we haven't got is root crops. But we're going to be buying the pigs at exactly the same time that we're first harvesting root crops. Not that it really matters, because most of the feeding of the pigs, we're not going to have the food anyway. We're going to have to be buying the food from the tank of pig food that we've just installed next to the pigs anyway. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how this is going to work out just yet. I think I may have just sensed through the space-time continuum that is YouTube, all of the people who are currently screaming at the screen, why am I using this tiny little T6 to do this job? Oops, I didn't actually mean to come in around and do that. Why am I using this tiny little T6 to do this job when I've got the fence back at the yard not doing anything at all? I could be using the fence, and that one goes considerably faster. It's got several more horses under the bonnet, and it's really not going to struggle. And honestly, I don't know. It's a very good question. Why am I not using that one? I couldn't really answer that one. I genuinely, I don't know why I'm not using that one. I should be using it, and I will use it for moving the pigs. When we go to buy the pigs, I will use it, except that I was thinking that I might be wanting to use it for something else. Now, I've got 4 available on here. I could like buy another lot, but then I'd have 4 bales left down here, which I don't really want to do. Now, let's see if we can back this one all the way up round there. Careful. Easy does it. There. And then... Right, now start to straighten it out. Like that. Oop. Straightened it too far. Bring it back like that. There we go. I'm going to keep going backwards. Going backwards just because I want to. I want to see how I can do with this. And I'm going to keep that straight. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. Let's not tempt fate and mess this up. So we'll unload onto the trailer. We'll put the straps on like that, and we are away. So I want to. Ooh, hang on. It's you get that slight glitchiness like that. That means that the AI vehicle extension is doing something a bit strange and it's struggling. So if I press H like that and stop it, it's come all the way down the edge of the fields. I'm happy to leave a strip. I'm more than happy to just leave a strip like that and not worry about it. So we'll fold this one up. There we go. That is now done. And the big question has got to be, do we want to keep this seed drill so that we can plant sunflowers somewhere or not? If we're going to plant sunflowers, I'm thinking we plant them in the field that we've got right here, the one that we've just now finished planting. That's done now. We have a look here. You can see all planted, growing. There, fruit types. We've got sugar beet in there. This is looking absolutely fantastic. Okay, the rest of the land is all harvested. Doesn't have anything on it. But that's done. So the only thing I got to do is I got to get those bales up here under cover without having them rained on. So I'm just going to bring this one up this far, and then we can worry about moving this one in a little bit. We'll bring this one over to here, and we'll stop that one right there. So the sugar beet is done. That's planted. Switch you off. You're dealt with. And now we go down to here. And start moving this one. I'm going to start fast forwarding time a little bit. And keep that running on 120. And hope that we don't get rained on. If I do get rained on, then it's going to... I'm just going to have to, like, slow down time. If the rain decides it's going to turn up, we'll slow time down a little bit until we get these bales under cover. And then we can worry about getting the rain through afterwards. So I've got my finger on the time scale thing. Right. It's changing. It's looking like it's going to start raining any time now. It's literally a race against the clock, except that I think I will just... let's not tempt fate. It's 1 o'clock. Let's just slow the time down and leave it there until I get these bales back so that we don't lose them. We've gone and bought them. We started with €1,000,000. We've now got $250,000 left. So once again, we've done what we always do, and we've started spending. If anybody's ever seen that Homer Simpson episode where he becomes he's in charge of the garbage, he's the waste disposal manager person thing. I can't remember what his title is. But yeah, he gets himself elected to public office to take care of waste disposal and waste management, and they come in and they say after a while that you've spent your... Homer, you idiot, you spent your entire budget, your entire year's budget in a month. I hope you got some good ideas because your men aren't going to work for free. And Homer just immediately looks crestfallen because that was his good idea. Then he goes home and he's talking to Marge and Lisa, and Marge says, how did you manage to spend your entire budget in a month? How could you even do it? And he goes, but Marge, they let me sign checks with a stamp. A stamp! Yeah, I seem to have this same problem. I think what they're doing in this game is they're letting me sign checks with a stamp, which is why my million... I go somewhere with $1 million, and it immediately seems to just kind of disappear. It just vanishes for no particular reason. And after the million has vanished, I don't normally have a lot to show for it. I mean, I do have a nice sugar beet planter there. I did manage to get that job done fairly speedily. And I've got a very beautiful fence. That one looks very nice. I was going to buy like €250,000 worth of pigs. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to afford that now. Let's bring this one in here. Like that. And we'll take these straps off. There. And then load the bales onto the trailer. And then switch them over to that side. Unload. And there go the bales. Right. So we've now got... How many bales in here? How many have we got? How many have we got? We've got... 56 bales in here. We've still got space for another 52 bales. If we want. We don't want. We're not going to worry about that now. Okay, that is job done. And I don't think... Oh, now look, see, things are changing. Things are actually changing. Look, it's all getting cultivated. Farmers are doing some work. They're getting very industrious. And if I look in here, I get the feeling I'm not going to be able to sell that trailer back for the amount that I paid for it. Not even close. 17. Oh, yes, I can. Maybe it's a real life half an hour. It might be a real life half an hour. I'm going to sell it back. So there we go, 12,500. We get our money back for those. That trailer right there, we've not used it. 12,000. We will sell that one. Yep, they'll go and pick that one up from the farm. The round baler as well. I don't want round bales. We can sell that one. And, right, the sprayer, and I'm going to keep those. This one here, see, this one's got an hour on the clock. These two, I don't think we... I'm sort of thinking that we don't want both of those. And maybe we'd be glad of the sprayer and not use the fertilizer spreader. Oh, see, I don't think we need to worry about it. I think we'll leave that. That one we want to keep. The plough, that one I don't want to be using. If I'm going to do some ploughing, I'll do it with a bigger plough. So I will sell that one. And the same goes with the cultivator. That one's too small. Sell that one. That trailer is brilliant. This one here I'm not so sure about, except we may be glad of it a bit later. Combine is too small. I don't want to be using that one for anything, so I'm going to sell that one. I'm going to sell that one there, and I'm also going to sell the New Holland there. So the dealership is very good. You know, he's gone and he's picked all of these up for us. Now, these. We got front loader for a tractor, and we've also got a JCB skid steer. I don't know if... I'm going to need something to move bales in for the pigs. Whether I think I might actually use the skid steer and the pallet forks for that. So, I mean, this is really cheap, so I'm not going to worry about that one. The small T5, we'll keep the tractors. We've got these 4 different tractors. We'll keep all of those, and we won't worry about them. That's increased our cash available now to a little bit more than we did have, which is fantastic. That's about it. Right. I'm going to drive this one back to the farm, and then we also want to get some of the other ones back to the farm as well. We don't have a great deal to do between now and the autumn. We literally just kind of need to jump fast forward time. I don't know if I can fast forward time from here or not. Just slow down and stop. Not yet I can. Okay, I am absolutely loving the weather effect that we've got. Some maps, like the where they put fog and stuff in, comes in really good. And this nighttime fog right here, this is fantastic. Okay, this is very cool. You could easily get lost. Quite frankly, switch this off. Look, if you were stuck in a place like this and you weren't used to flat lands, I would find this to be rather scary and creepy, to be honest. I reckon it would be a lot darker than this as well. I reckon it would be much, much darker than this. And yeah, you wouldn't be able to see anything. This would be the sort of thing that would terrify me. Right, let's skip until dawn, so that we can actually see what's going on. That would be a bit nicer. Resting for another day. There we go. So we've got 3,000 in vehicle running costs. We've got 200 in property maintenance. 625 in loan interest. And it's the same on both sides. With these fields here, we've got a cultivated texture underneath and a cultivated texture underneath on that one, which is making me think that we're not going to be able to plant those, or at least cultivate those fields, using hired help. It's going to just keep saying job done. So we're going to need the direct drill to go over those, because I don't think it would work using the other vehicle either, using the other drill. Even though it does funny things like that when you start off a map. Sometimes it's got like odd textures, especially when you switch seasons on. it can do some very peculiar things like that. And then you get like these weird textures come up in the fields. So it's registering that you've got stubble or something on the top, but it's not actually got stubble there. It's something different, and it sort of confuses the hired help a little bit, which would explain the issues that we had there. Oh, I tell you what, rather than going around that way... Oh, this is our field anyway. This one's got the same. See? You've got cultivated texture underneath the crop texture. You've got the stubble texture right there, and we've got cultivated texture on top of it. Cultivated texture underneath the stubble texture. And that's what's going to confuse any hired help. So we'd either have to manually cultivate the field or use a direct drill, because I reckon that the game itself will say no, you can't use a standard drill in this field because this field is planted, it's got stubble in here. But it's also then going to say, hang on a minute, no, but I'm cultivated already, so if you're bringing a cultivator over the top of me, that's not going to work. And it does throw it out. I've seen this on a huge number of maps. When you start seasons, and it seems to sort of be a thing when you sort of tie it in with seasons, it confuses the issue a little bit. But once you've gone through one season, done one lot of planting, use a direct drill seems to be the answer. It usually comes out alright, and you don't have any problems with it whatsoever. So we're just going to have to do some direct drilling on these fields once we get round to the autumn, and we'll do it like that. So if I bring you up here, and bring you into... I'm going to bring you over there, and park you on my front lawn. Just like that. And then I want to... Right, so this one here, we're not actually going to be using this one for quite a while, because we can't use the cultivator and let the hired help do it. So we're going to need to use this for other things. And the first thing that I actually wanted to use this tractor for was buying the pigs. It's nice and fast, it will run up and down really, really quickly. I could leave this one inside the shed, except I'm not going to. I'm going to park the cultivator over into the corner over here, and then I'm going to forget about it. So if I bring that one over there, like that, and I drop you off there, then I need to change the wheels, because if we're doing a load of road work, I don't want to have the twin wheels on it. So if I bring this one over to here, and lower down Dave, front weight, come out like that, and then we'll go in here and we'll get these wheels changed over. So we'll bring you up to there, and I will stop, and then we can go down into here. And we need to... Right, so we can repair if we want to. That is 24 euros. And customize on here. So we got twin wheels. We don't want wide... Actually, wide tyres... Just thinking for road work, it might be... Whether we want wide tyres or not. I think we might just go with standard tyres on this one. Engine setup. I've already got the biggest engine setup on here anyway. Yeah, so if we take standard tyres for the road work, and then we'll switch over to probably go back to the twin wheels when we go for working with the sugar beet, but we'll worry about that. Yeah, we'll worry about that a little bit later on, because I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out with the sugar beet yet. Maintenance cost for the Fendt 900 Vario was 24 euros. Cheap at half the price. So bring this one over to here, and... Come on, Dave. We got work to do, son. We got work to do. So bring our mignon over here. Before I go... I don't actually need to run this one off the shop just yet, because it's, you know, technically it's a couple months before we need to use it. So we'll park him there, and we'll get this one. This one is... We're going to be using this seed drill in that field over there. But it's not going to be for another year, is it? It's going to be after the sugar beet harvest, and then we go through the winter into the spring, and it'll be part of the spring planting in that field there. So the fields up there, we'll be able to plant those in the autumn while we're doing the sugar beet harvest, and they should plant regardless, and we'll be using the direct drill for that. I may get another direct drill, I'm not quite sure, but I probably won't. Actually, we'll probably just leave it and like have the Vardestad just the 6 meter one, just sort of cruising around and around. It'll take a little while, but it'll get the job done eventually. Now, this great big seed drill here, I want to put this one under cover. Put it away in sheds properly. So we open up this shed. Have we got room in here? I reckon we could put it into one of those bays in there. We had the combine in there, so you wouldn't get a bigger combine in here. Can I even fit this one in? This is gonna be the big question: is can I even fit it into this shed? I'm not sure that I can. Not that it really matters for a minute. Just switch you off a second, and tonight we're actually going to sleep at home rather than camping out in the rain. We're going to go and sleep at home over here. Look, and we're going to do that, and then we're going to skip through until dawn. 5:46. I should have skipped through to the morning because that's a bit later. Because all we're really worried about at the moment is like getting through as quickly as we can. Let's jump to you. Have we had anything grow yet? Yes, we have. Look, see, there's growth all over the place. Our fields over here, they've not had anything planted to them apart from that one. Everything else has got growth. Let's have a look. What have we got for fruit types? So what have our neighbours got? We've got various cereals coming up in places. Quite a few sunflowers in different patches. Oh no, that's us. Oh, I see. We split field 19 in half when we planted it last year. Ah, well, that does answer a couple of questions. Right, we bring that. One of those questions is, why did the stubble change when I was driving through it? But now I understand. Can I get you in? Okay, I've gone up against the wall there. I'm going to have to get that in more of a straight line. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into that barn with this one anyway with the twin wheels. So all I can do is get it into the gateway. That is a very tight squeeze to get in there, isn't it? We did it, though. I did it. Yes, that's not happening. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll bring this one over here and we'll swap these wheels over now. So I'll bring you out there and I'll lower that weight down. Unhitch that one. Swing round and we'll put standard tyres onto the... Actually, no, I'm not going to put standard tyres. I'm going to put wide tyres on this one. And this is the one that we'll be using for doing our autumn planting. So I'll repair that one. There we go, €25. And then we will go narrows, wheel weight, standard, rear twins. What? I don't have wide tyres as an option for this. Rear twins, narrows, or wheel weights. I don't want wheel weights, so we'll have to go for standards then. Alright. Okay, we can do that. We'll go for standards. So you. Maintenance cost was €25, and we had €24 on the other tractor. So that's like €49 in maintenance that we've forked out so far. I know, it's an absolute con. It's a travesty. It's disgusting. That is eating into our profits like nothing you would believe. That would explain why our $1 million, our €1,000,000 is kind of like just disintegrated. It's because of the maintenance and all the hidden fees. Ooh, okay, I'm scraping a weight away around just there. I'm wondering if I'm ever going to be able to get this thing out of here again. I can get it in here. I can just about squeeze the thing in here, and I can even get it parked tidy-ish. There we go. But am I ever going to be able to take it out of here once I'm done? I wouldn't like to hazard a guess on that one. To be honest, I genuinely don't know. It could go either way. Now, I'll bring this one. I'm going to actually hook this one onto the seed drill so that it's ready to roll. Except that I'm going to have to unhook it, and then I'm going to have to come over here and just bring it over slightly so that I can hook into the side here, there, so that I can pull the thing out. And then I got some seed pallets there, plus fertilizer, except this one only takes seed. It doesn't take anything else. And I'll bring that in around there, like that. There we go. So that's loading. What have we got? That's wheat in that field, and that's barley. I'm just going to swap those two round. I'm going to do barley in number 1 and wheat in number 2. Right. Back up a bit more. Another one going into there. Now remember, it does buy automatically for the hired help. I have got that setting on for this map. I just thought it would be a little bit easier, make our life a little bit easier as well. So that one is there, ready to go for autumn planting. It's lined up and ready to roll. Hang on, which side? Barley. I need, because I'm going to do field number 1 first. So let's make sure that we got barley set. That one's ready to go. Perfect. Just it's waiting and raring to go. We've got our Fent over here. We're going to start driving this one down to the shop. Actually, we'll do that in a minute because it's very nearly almost the end of the day, and then we're going to move into summer. We may see the end. Ooh, I know what we haven't done. Let's pick up some eggs. We've got some eggs here, so we'll gather some eggs from the chickens. It's always good to have some eggs. We could have some scrambled eggs for tea tonight. I do enjoy a plate of scrambled eggs. But, I mean, see, Sen, my wife, she cooks me a plate of scrambled eggs every so often, but she doesn't just cook a plate of scrambled eggs. If she says, do you want scrambled eggs for tea? Do you know what she actually means? She actually means, would you like scrambled eggs and bacon? And that's what I have. I'll have a few slices of toast and some, like a big pile of scrambled eggs and then some bacon to go with it. And it's always nice crisped up bacon. It's done absolutely perfectly. Oh, it is so delicious. I really want scrambled eggs and bacon now. But it's always like, and you'll get several rashers of bacon as well. Scrambled eggs, bacon, and some toast. And it's beautiful, because what you do is you put a couple rashers of bacon on the toast, and you cover it with eggs, and then you put more rashers of bacon on top, and then you put another piece of toast on top, and you eat the sandwich of toast and bacon, the bacon and egg toast sandwich. It's delicious. And then when you've done that, then you've got a few rashers of bacon left over, and a small pile of eggs that you just kind of eat afterwards. And oh, what a meal! It's so tasty. Like, seriously, simple but effective. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, that's enough eggs there. I got loads of eggs now. Seriously, my mouth is what I am so. As soon as I finish recording today's episode, I'm going to go and ask Sen if we could have scrambled eggs and bacon for tea. See what she says. And yeah, she does cook most of the meals. At the weekend, I'll cook some meals, but during the week, because I'm sat in front of a PC and I'm doing lots and lots of recording, I finish recording at around the time that tea is being served up. So I'm not really able to do very much in the way of meal preparation during the week. And so then I will have my meal, and then I go and sit back in front of the computer, and I spend all evening editing videos. And then I'll finish like 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. That's my week. That's my working week. I do this all week. And then at the weekend, I get to take a break. And so just for something different, I will play computer games. I know, right? It's like completely different. I just sort of throw that out there into the mix just to really mess things up. I don't just play computer games. I actually do quite a lot of other things. But, you know, it's trying to find the time to do a lot of these things. That's very quick. One thing I've noticed with seasons is you do have to quite quickly press the OK button, because if you don't, the cursor stays on the screen and it becomes a bit of a nuisance. Now, summer is here. So how are we doing with our growth rates? We've got growth rates over here. I want to go first and I want to have a look at our field of sugar beet, which is field 38 right there. Look at the young plants coming through. They're looking good now. And we got our awkward pig-headed neighbour over here who was complaining about us getting too close to his field. Look how close you are to my field. Did I run along screaming, hey, this is not your land, as you were planting along here? No, I didn't. But look what you've made me do. Okay, I'm going to remember this. When I'm harvesting this sugar beet, I'm suddenly going to need a lot more space than this to turn round on. I'm going to need to be turning round all the way over here. Okay, I'm going to need to do that a lot. A lot. I'm telling you right now. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. Right. You're not going to be ready for another 2 or 3 days. You, however, we're going to at least get you down towards the dealership. But we're running out of time for today's episode. We will be carrying this on next week. And at the beginning of next week, we're going to be starting our sugar beet harvest. We're also going to be buying pigs and installing them at the pig unit. I think we will get the sugar beet harvest underway first. Then we will come back and we'll worry about the pigs. I've got to try to establish how I go about getting water for the pigs, because I'm not sure if there's a particular point for water, or if I just go to one of the ditches and fill up with water from there. There's the main river over there. I might fill up from that one, or there could be an actual water point somewhere on the map. So we've got to establish that one. I've got to figure that one out. If anybody does know, tell me in the comments section down below. That would be quite handy to know what I got to do about water on this one. We've got some hail coming down at the moment for early summer, which is nothing unusual in this region. You occasionally get a hailstorm. It's not like you get in, I think it's in the American Midwest, isn't it? You guys have like hailstorms there. We have hailstones the size of golf balls falling out the sky, and quite frankly, the thought of that terrifies me. Ours are more like, if they look like peas, they're quite big. That's a bit excessive. Normally they're much smaller than that. You get little, like, it's like rice grains being hammered out of the sky. So nothing particularly exciting. Not like the whole golf ball thing that you get going on with some of the storms you get in the prairies in the US. I've seen some videos of those, and quite frankly, they look absolutely terrifying, and makes me glad that I don't live there. Not sure that I would be able to... I don't know. I don't know how you guys can relax knowing that you might suddenly have a storm roll over and dump a load of those on you. How do you deal with that? How do you cope with knowing that that might happen? Or are you going to have a tornado come through and carry your house off like in The Wizard of Oz, except that the ending's not quite so good? You don't tend to find the lion's heart and everything. All you tend to find is mass destruction and a lack of livestock and machinery when everything's sort of settled. How do you cope with that? Do you like... Are you even able to be insured against things like that? Because surely if this is a very real possibility every year, is the insurance company going to be like, well, hang on a minute, no, you live in a tornado zone, go away. If you want to insure against tornadoes, you got to show, you got to prove to us that you don't get tornadoes. So that's usually what happens with a insurance company, is they only tend to insure against things that are not very likely to happen. If you tell them that I'm going to have a tornado come through here, they're more likely to say, well, okay, that's fine, but we don't insure people like you against tornadoes. They're very useful, old insurance companies. Sometimes they're helpful. Let's go and have a look around up here. Let's just sit up here and admire the... I quite like the fact that we can see that cow over there. That does look quite cool. Anyway, I have run out of time. We're going to have to come back to this next week. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And just before I go, I want to see, can I climb up this way? Can I run up? Oh, I can. Okay. We can run up onto here. I might be able to do it. I might be able to do it. Oh. Right, well, I'm on the wool. I can get over into this. I wanted to get to... Look. There's some of it. Can I parkour my way up onto there? It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that. I was hoping that I'd be able to get right up there and, like, maybe sit on the bull. But it doesn't look like sitting on the bull is something that we're going to be able to do. No. Looking around this side... Oh, okay, no. Right, now I'm right down on the ground. I feel let down now. I do. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.